Down, down, down. We're going up, up, up. Mom needs to film an intro. Yeah. Today we kind of have a hodgepodge of things that we're doing. Yesterday I started my sourdough, so you'll see that clip before obviously we get into today's stuff. But today we are going to make some bread. We probably won't end up getting to that until later this evening. Yesterday we also ended up baking some cookies. Me and this little man baked some cookies at the end of our evening. You'll see that today too in today's video. I did a compilation of yesterday and the stuff we're gonna do today because sourdough isn't a one-day thing. Let's just get into the video. You'll spend the day with us and I hope you guys enjoy it. We're gonna go ahead and feed my sourdough. I'm going to tare my scale, place a new mason jar, old starter, stir, and add some into the new mason jar. I like to do a 1-to-2 ratio. I'm going to do 50 grams of starter, and we will end up doing 100 grams of water and 100 grams of flour. We'll add the water in now. Tare that again, and we'll add 100 grams of flour in. I'm feeding it at around 9:30 this morning. I'm hoping it doubles mid-afternoon, and we'll be able to bake some bread either tonight before bed or very early tomorrow morning. She is fed, she will be thriving, and we're gonna set her on the counter and wait now. The daily occurrence in our household here. Whoa! Okay, it's about 6:15 and I'm done with the day, if you can't tell. I thought we would whip up some really quick chocolate chip cookies. My son will probably want to come get involved. In fact, he's running over right now. Are you ready to do some baking? You got your bowl. We're gonna make some chocolate chip cookies. We are. Here is our lineup for our cookies. Really simple. Let's get to it. I'm gonna apologize right now for the noise that this part of the video is going to have because I have my little helper here. It's a good day when I remember to take out my butter because I need to bake with it because I need it at room temperature. But, you know, some days I don't even remember to feed myself lunch. That's where we're at. Let's soften some butter in the microwave. We need half a cup. I feel like this is just pure chaos. 1 stick of butter is half a cup. Now don't melt it, just soften it. Okay, I know it's a hard line. Usually I cross it, so we'll see how I do. I didn't melt it, yay Mom! I got my recipe up here because I don't remember it. This is my tried and true chocolate chip cookie recipe. I'll link it down below. I'm not doing any of that. Who uses 2 bowls when they bake? One for wet ingredients, one for dry ingredients? I can tell you I do not do that. I do not want to do double the dishes. We're using 1 bowl today. So butter in. We're gonna also put the sugar in. Brown sugar, golden sugar, use whatever type of colored sugar that you want. We don't discriminate in this house. We need, what do we need? Half a cup. Pack that. That's a lot. Look at that, that's nice and packed. In we go. And we're gonna clean up as we go. In there. We need 6 tablespoons of granulated white sugar. Did you know that 4 tablespoons is a 1/4 cup? So 6 tablespoons would be 1/4 cup and a half. So I'm going to use a tablespoon. 1, 6. Now we are going to cream the sugars and the butter together. Okay, one thing you don't want to do is overmix your butter. I have done that and your cookies go flat. What is next? Add the egg and vanilla. I'd say that's good. Let's beat this. Now that is all the wet ingredients mixed in, let's move on to the dry ingredients. Our flour. All we need is 1.5 cups. I always like to kind of pick up my flour a little bit just so it fluffs it up. Because fluffed flour and dense flour measures very differently. If I can tell you one thing, you should invest in a kitchen scale. We used unsalted butter, by the way. I'm not sure if I specified that or not. My tomatoes are running away. We need 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Did you know salt enhances the flavor of chocolate? Baking soda, not baking powder, baking soda. They do 2 very different things. What do they do? I don't know. Google it. 1 teaspoon. Look, it was chaotic and now it's not so bad. Okay. We are going to mix this until it's just incorporated all of the ingredients together. Do not overmix it. We're going to scrape down the sides of the bowl. One day you will get to lick the beaters. Today is not your day. Sorry! And the recipe calls for chocolate chips and chocolate chunks. I typically use both because it adds a really good texture to it, but I only have chocolate chips. I am going to use probably one and just to like line the bottom of the measuring cup. I'm not trying to become a diabetic. Last thing I like to add is, I actually like to add walnuts into my chocolate chip cookies. I'll just grab a little handful of these, crush them up in my hand, and then we will give the batter a mix. It adds a really good texture. I personally don't think it adds much of a taste, but I'm a big texture person when it comes to food, and I think adding nuts into your cookies just elevates it a lot. Salmonella who? Here's the kicker about this recipe. Doesn't that look good? Ooh, let's get a close up. Ooh, delicious. We're gonna put this bowl in the fridge. Cover it, don't cover it. I usually don't cover it. We're gonna put it in the fridge for an hour. And then I'll meet you back here in the kitchen. Whatever your personal preference is for cookie size, do that. The recipe is supposed to make 18 cookies. I like a medium-sized cookie. Someone's got the nighttime crazies right now. Now that our oven is preheated, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pop these into the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes. These are about ping pong ball size, I would say. Adjust the timing of your baking for how large your cookie is. This is what we're looking like at 10 minutes. I'm going to leave them in for another 2. My sticky fingers couldn't help myself. I already got into it. And 10 out of 10, they are delicious. I was going to make bread this evening, but my sourdough. Oh no. As I was saying, my sourdough, I mark it where it starts so I can see how much it's grown, and it hasn't doubled in size yet. My plan was I wanted to make bread tonight so we could have some tomorrow morning because we don't have any bread left. But it looks like I'm gonna have to make bread tomorrow morning, which isn't a big deal. It'll just be ready around dinner time. So I'll catch you guys in the morning. Good morning. Remember last night when I was complaining that it wasn't doubling in size? Look at her now. She's beautiful. Oh, she was at the, look at that. She was at the top. She is jiggly. We are going to measure out 90 grams of our starter. You want it past peak and falling for this specific recipe. 90 grams. 385 grams of warm water. Terrier scale. This a whisk. Watch me add way too much. I can't even see what I'm doing. Did I say how much? 520 grams. And some recipes say to mix this together, add the salt later. Who the heck has time for that? Add your salt. No one cares. It's a lot of salt. It's 2 teaspoons. 1, 2. It's gonna seem really hard to mix together, this consistency of dough, I find anyways. Just make sure you get all of the dry bits of flour incorporated. It's gonna be what they call real shaggy looking. I feel like I'm beating this sourdough right now. I think we're in good. A little slap slap. Get yourself a clean dish towel and leave it alone for 15 minutes. Go do something else. This is a recipe that I typically do in the evening just because it's a very hands-off recipe, which means you're gonna see we only do a couple stretch and folds, and then you let it bulk ferment overnight. I typically put it in the oven with the oven light on. You let it bulk ferment for about 8 to 12 hours. It kind of sucks, to be honest, doing it during the day, but for some reason my sourdough starter didn't want to grow last night. I know, That's life though, right? We're always waiting and impatient, and that was me last night, and we're gonna do it today, and that's okay. I'll take you guys through the steps and we'll have a beautiful loaf by dinner tonight. How many times do you guys reheat your coffee in a day? I'm on number 3 and it's only 9 a.m. so wish me luck today. You're just full of it today, aren't ya? Mama. Oh. Also, you're totally lying if you tell me you dry this out before putting it in the cupboard. Well, we all know it's been more than 15 minutes, right? Ah, life. Okay. Wet your hands. It's not rocket science. You just pick up the dough. It's really sticky. So what we're doing is we're building the gluten structure. Fold it over. Turn your bowl. Really sticky. Quarter turn. See how it's getting harder and harder to stretch? Should have probably wet my fingers again. And one last stretch and fold. See how hard that one was? Cover it back up with the towel, leave it alone for 15 minutes or more. This is our last set of stretch and fold, so wet your hands. You'll see that the dough has already formed a good gluten structure just by doing that first round of stretch and folds. Quarter turn. It's okay also to let the dough rest in between your stretch and folds. I'll probably go ahead after this one and let it rest for 30 seconds just because look how it's struggling to stretch out. Quarter turn. I'm not even sure I'm gonna be able to get one more. Okay. I'm going to cover the dough back up and I'm going to put it in my oven with the oven light on. We're going to let the dough bulk ferment in the oven for approximately 8 to 12 hours. It's dependent on where you live, the temperature, the humidity, which in turn affects the moisture in your house. When I do it overnight, it takes about 9 to 10 hours. So I'm interested to see if it's going to be different during the day. It is 9:45 right now. I'm going to check it probably around 3 o'clock and I'll show you guys a glimpse of what it looks like. Why do all kids' toys have noise and then they're all going off at the same time? And it drives me crazy. It's such a gloomy day here today. Doing chicken parm for dinner tonight. It's Tuesday. We'll get that prepped up in a little bit, maybe when he goes down for his first nap. Not sure if any of you guys have kids, but he's 14 months old, and I would say that this past month, he's been learning so much and getting really in tune with his emotions. He's experiencing what I like to call very big emotions. And you love putting things on everyone's head. Oh. Okay. Help me. I'm going to also clean the bathroom today, so we'll maybe do that at his second nap. Okay. We're just gonna have a chill day today. It's gloomy, it's cold, it's windy. Oh, back to the rooster. Love you. God, it's so windy out right now. My lantern is like going like this. Not my lantern, my bug zapper is going crazy. He's got absolutely zero patience when it comes to waiting for his food to be done. So I never get to clean up. And you know what? We're not gonna clean up right now. Let's make a coffee with the pumpkin creamer that we made earlier this week. Also, the cookies. Look at them. Aren't they beautiful? How cute is this cup? Well, it's been about an hour since I made that coffee, so let me go ahead and grab that out of the fridge now. Black right now, and I guess I could have got my creamer out of the fridge too. I'm so tired today. I forgot to show you what I did. It is the most Mondayest Tuesday ever, I swear to you. Anyways, I put it in a cuter cup. My version of a cute cup is my mason jar with a nice little glass straw. I added a couple tablespoons of my pumpkin creamer and just a splash of half and half. And it's delicious and it's needed. And hopefully it makes me come alive because I am fading hard. But now let's check on our bread. Let's do the big reveal. It might be sad. Oh, she's growing. I'm gonna apologize right now because my son is going to be joining us for this part of our sourdough recipe. We're going to do a set of coil folds. Lift your dough up. You might have to lift it up twice. It doesn't come away in the bowl quite nicely. Holy macaroni there, child. So we're gonna lift it up and it should pull away, and you're gonna coil it underneath itself. Now you're gonna half turn and coil fold again. It should come up much easier, see? Lay it down on top of itself. Now quarter turn it so you're at the opposite side. Coil fold. See the nice structure it's forming? And then half turn, our last fold. Look at that. Nice and bouncy. We're gonna cover it and we're gonna let it rest right on the counter for 15 minutes. We've got a drum solo happening in the background. It's been 15 minutes. I'm gonna do another set of coil folds. So turn your bowl quarter, lift it up. It's gonna become quite difficult. Not difficult, but it's not going to stretch. See how tight it is, which is what you want. Now we are going to quarter turn it. And one more. Okay, leave it. Now we're going to get another bowl. You're going to dust it with flour, and we're gonna plop this guy in. I'm so sorry. It's real life. Welcome to chaos. We got a new bowl. I lined it with parchment paper. I have a little sifter here. We're just gonna take some flour and we're gonna make it snow on the parchment paper. Uh-oh, also by making a mess. Okay, you're gonna take your sourdough and you're gonna, look how nice it is. You're gonna plop it in your new bowl and pinch the seams. See how the seams kind of come up a little bit? And you're gonna wanna pop any bubbles if there are any. Cover this and we're gonna throw it in the fridge for 1 hour. This is what she looks like before going into the fridge. Remember, it doesn't have to look perfect. It just has to look like you gave it some effort, and it's homemade, so it's already made with love. We are just chilling here, hanging out. I did forget to mention that while the dough is in the fridge, you can go ahead and preheat your oven to, the recipe says 500 degrees. Every time I turn my oven to 500 degrees, my smoke detector goes off. So I put it at 450. I'm gonna go do that right now because I forgot. Our oven is preheated now, so I went ahead and I took our dough out of the refrigerator. Looks good. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take my sifter with some flour and we're gonna put some flour all on top. Now we're gonna get our ever so fancy sourdough scorer. And I like to do one big crescent moon on the 1/2. And then I'll do a couple, like 5 or 6 little slashes. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get our Dutch oven out of the oven. And we're gonna put this beauty right on in. Put the top back on. I'm also gonna grab a baking sheet and I'm going to put that on the rack below where I put my Dutch oven on. Helps prevent the crust getting too brown on the bottom. We're gonna bake that at 450 with the lid on for 25 minutes. At the 25-point mark, we're gonna take the lid off. Put it back in for 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, let's go ahead and check the temperature. Perfect. I took my loaf right out of the Dutch oven and put it on a cooling rack. I would say we have a successful loaf. Remember, it doesn't matter if it's perfect. What matters is you tried. Just got finished making our beautiful loaf of sourdough. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for spending another day with me, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye, friends.